What if Deku had Permeation? Part 1. Now, basically, Permeation is just Mirio's quirk. And in this what if, Mirio is going to be Deku's older brother by 2 years. That's how much older Mirio is than Izuku. That's, I believe, since they're in Class 1A, and I believe Mirio's in Class 3A. Now, since Izuku is going to be Mirio's little brother, Izuku's mom is going to be their mom, and Mirio's dad is going to be their dad. Their dad's actually going to be there this time instead of not being there, like how Izuku's dad is in the original timeline. Now, when Izuku got his quirk, they all went. Mirio is 6, and he already knows that his quirk is Permeation. And I believe around this time, he doesn't know what he wants to do. So he still doesn't know what he wants to become when... I'd say around the time Mirio was 7, he figured out he wanted to be a hero. But not right now. So he hasn't begun training yet. So his quirk is still a little less. Now, Izuku ends up getting the same quirk as Mirio, like the title says. And his quirk activates when he's getting really excited, and he just goes straight through the chair, and then he deactivates itself because he was halfway through the floor. So he shot up and jumped right back up and sat down on the chair. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a great hero with this quirk. Now, this caused Mirio to think, well, if my little brother wants to be a hero, why can't I? So this basically sparks the reason why Mirio wants to become a hero. He also watched some hero battles just like Izuku did, and that caused him to want to become one. So each day, both Mirio and Izuku would train their quirk and body to the point where they were about to pass out. Like each day, they wanted to become a hero. Now, Mirio and Izuku's progress was slowed down a bit by school, but they still practiced every day in the morning and after they got home from school. This made both of them extremely strong. They also studied, making them pretty smart as well. Now, since Mirio is the older brother, he's figured out how to use his quirk more, but at a later age. So, since Izuku is younger, he's learning things Mirio learned at a younger age than Mirio did. Meaning Izuku is going to be sort of like a prodigy here. He's going to be stronger than when he was 5 years old than Mirio was, basically. Now, as the years pass, both Izuku and Mirio are pretty popular, basically. They're known as pretty strong people and not to mess with them. I'm gonna say they don't actually go to the school that Bakugo did, and Izuku knows Nejiro Hado and Tamaki, though I don't know his last name, but Izuku knows them as the friends of Mirio. So they're basically also his friends. Now, I'd say right around, let's just say Izuku is now in his last year of middle school. Both Mirio, Tamaki, and Nejiri Hado are in UA, I'd say at the end of their second year. So Izuku knows that his brother got in, so why can't he? When the teacher came in and he threw all the papers in the air, he says, I know you all want to be heroes. Remember, Bakugo's not in it, so no, he doesn't say anything about him, as everyone just looks at Izuku and they're like, hey, isn't his older brother in UA? Yeah, I heard he's one of the strongest there. All these whispers, so they're all like, I bet Izuku can be a great hero. And they all agree. So after this, Izuku ends up walking home through a tunnel. He ends up meeting the sludge villain, as the sludge villain captured him, saying he'll become a great meat shield. Izuku uses Permeation and gets out of the sludge villain as he goes deep underground, as he shoots right back up and punches the villain in the eye while also grabbing it and taking it out, causing the sludge villain to have excruciating pain. I also want you guys to tell me, should Izuku get one for all in this new what if? If not, I'd probably end up giving it to Mirio or somebody else. Now, Izuku, after this All Might would come out and deal with the knocked out sludge villain. He'd thank Izuku for saving All Might, saving some of his time, and Izuku walks away. All Might never drops the bottle because Izuku never latched onto his leg, causing the Bakugo never to be captured. Now, Izuku trained harder than he ever did because he knew Mirio was probably learning more stuff about their quirk than he was, so he needed to somehow find a way how to catch up with his brother. His brother also helped Izuku with his training to get better at it, so Izuku is now pretty much just a tad bit stronger than he was back before he started training this hard. So, once those 10 months are up, Izuku goes to UA. Now, he never trips, because if he would have just made Permeation, gone underground, and shot right back up. Once inside the auditorium, President Mike explains the rules. Izuku never gets called out, as he never started muttering. Now, as they start lining up, Izuku sees Ochako or Raka feeling nervous. He walks up to her, but Ida stops him, saying if he's trying to distract her, he suggests that he leave. Izuku just says she looks nervous and he was going to help her, but he is stopped right in the middle of that sentence as President Mike yells, "Go!" Izuku immediately starts running in and slips down through the ground. Now remember, Izuku's clothes end up falling through since Permeation makes the body just slip through things. So Izuku actually had some of his clothing made out of his hair for this situation. That's actually how Mirio's quirk was made, I believe, because since his hair for some reason would permeate with him, so when his clothes are made out of that, it'd work. So Izuku also used that strategy with it. So Izuku slips through and starts punching robots. Each time they'd go for a punch, it just phased through them using Permeation and get around and punch them. I'd say Izuku has around 70 points. That is all up until the 0-pointer comes and starts wreaking havoc as everyone starts running away. Izuku hears a yell for help, which is Uraraka. He runs to her and permeates through the ground and jumps up high enough to where he goes and punches the 0-pointer. I'd say it makes a pretty good dent, but it still doesn't cause the 0-pointer to start falling or doing anything as it continues to try and grab Izuku. Izuku ends up making a plan to try and push the 0-pointer over, so he starts backing up and then charges right at the 0-pointer, slips through the ground and jumps up, building momentum as he basically tackles the 0-pointer. Even though it's pretty huge, he kicks the 0-pointer basically until it falls down. Now Izuku then falls down, lifts the rock up from off of Uraraka's leg, and then starts walking away after carrying Uraraka to Recovery Girl. Recovery Girl thinks that Izuku might be hurt, but he just waves her off, saying that he's not hurt at all. So after this, Izuku ends up walking back to his house where he sees Mirio. Mirio asks him how he did, and Izuku says he did pretty well, and he thinks he got like around 80 or so points. Mirio says that's easily better than what he got. So Izuku's just like, really? Can't believe I beat you. Now Mirio got, I'd say, probably like let's just say like 70, and Izuku got like 80 for it right now. Weeks pass, and Mirio and Izuku's mom burst through Izuku's door, saying that the letter came. Izuku opens up the letter to see that All Might appears, seeing that young Togata, which is Izuku's last name. It's Izuku Togata, I believe, and Mirio Togata, I think that's how you pronounce it. But he says that Izuku passed very well and got 100 and I'd say 30 points. 50 hero points for saving Uraraka, and 80 points for saving or for beating the villains. And then he says he made it into Class 1A. Izuku is very happy by this as he goes and tells Mirio and his mom. They're both happy for him as they can congratulate him with his favorite food, which is katsudon. Now, that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy What If Deku Had Permeation Part 1. See ya, guys. Bye.